Lady Wisdom speaks again. And this is what she says to us. I was born before the oceans were created, before the springs bubbled forth with their waters, before the mountains and the hills were formed, I was born. And so, my children, listen to me, for happy are all who follow my ways. Listen to my counsel and be wise. Pretty good words, huh, Barry?
Excellent.
But before we get to the Bible, I need to talk to you about some gutter problems. We haven't had rain like this since the summer of 1994. I remember it well because that was the first summer that we had been here in Marietta, and we were getting used to Holy Trinity, to our neighbors and friends, to Marietta, and starting to get to know vendors who could help out with one way or another, plumbers, electricians, or whatever. And anyway, during the summer, I noticed during a rainstorm, whether it was a light rain or a heavy rain, that the gutter right in front of the back door would overflow. And I'm thinking, well, what's wrong with the gutter that it would overflow like that so quickly? So I went outside, got a ladder, and put it on my deck and got up to look in the gutter to see if any leaves were in there. It was perfectly clear, all the way from one end to the other. So, had to be the downspout, right? So I said, Ginger, I need your help. So she goes and threads the hose up to me. I get up on the ladder, and I say, Ginger, I'm going to turn this on really, really fast, and I want you to get down at the bottom of the downspout and look into it just as I turn the water on. No, I didn't do that. You know I didn't do that. But anyway, we turned the water on, sprayed it as hard as we could down the downspout, and nothing but clear water came out. So, what could be wrong? Why would the gutter be overflowing when there was nothing in it? So, I got on my deck, and I stepped back, and I said, what is wrong with this gutter? And then I could see it. This end, where the water goes in, was way lower than the end that had the downspout on it. And I said, not even in Georgia does water flow uphill. And you know how these houses are built around here. They come in, they build them as fast as they can, and then they get out. And whoever put the gutters on that day must have had old glasses like this. Because it was so crooked, even I could see that it was not going to work. So I looked in the yellow pages and I found a gutter company called Woodstock Gutter. I don't know if they're still in business or not, but I called them up and I found out that they're a family-owned business, a mother and a father, and a couple of sons, and they run a really popular gutter business here in the Woodstock area in Marietta. So I called them up and I told them my problem. I said, I have a gutter over my back deck that has been put up crooked. Could you please come and put me a new gutter on and make sure that the top end is higher than the downspout end? He said, no problem. We can fix any gutter problem. So, one morning the next week, drives up this nice truck that says Woodstock Gutter on the side of it. And out pops a 13-year-old. I thought to myself, how in the world did you get a driver's license? Does your mama know you stole your daddy's truck? But anyway, I told him the problem, and I said, that's his son now. I told him the problem, and he says, no problem. I've been working on gutters for 2 weeks. I can straighten out any problem you have. So I went on to work, came to church, worked all day long, went home, and went back on the deck to look at my new shiny gutter. The sweet, dear kid had put the new gutter on in the exact same spot as the old gutter. And I said, Ginger, that's not going to work. I said, it's still down on this end, high on the other end, it's not going to work. So I got on the telephone. I called Woodstock Gutter. And I said, do you know what your son did? He said, oh, no, what? I said, he put the new gutter on the same place the old gutter was, and the water still don't run uphill. He said, I can't believe he did that. I'm going to send somebody else out to fix it. I said, no, wait a minute. The next person from Woodstock Gutter that drives into my driveway better have gray hair. That ended that conversation. 2 or 3 days later, nobody showed up. Sunday afternoon, Ginger and I were sitting on the deck enjoying a lovely day, and around the corner comes the owner and his wife. He said, you wanted somebody with gray hair? I brought my wife. And we chuckled a little bit about that and laughed and all that kind of stuff. And I said, well, I'm glad y'all are here. And he said, now what did my son do? I said, well, come up here and look at this. And he looked at that and he said, you know, we taught him better than that. And I thought to myself, apparently not. And so he got up there on a Sunday afternoon, him and his wife both, and fixed that gutter. Gray hair. Pay attention to people with gray hair. Gray hair is a sign of longevity, and it's also a sign, more importantly, of wisdom. People with gray hair have lived it, they've owned it, they've been through it, and they know from experience a whole lot more than a younger person does. Gray hair is something I now respect, because people with gray hair are not only smart, but they are survivors. They have made it. Aaron came home, and this is my son Aaron. He came home from school one day shortly after he got his driver's license. He said, Dad, I can't stand these drivers around here in Cobb County. I said, what's the problem? He said, well, on the way back from school today, I got behind this old man who was going 35 miles an hour in a 35-mile speed zone. What's wrong with that old man, Barry? I said, Aaron, I want to tell you something. I don't want you never to forget it. If you drive like a grandpa, you might live to be one. He has never forgotten that. And I said, furthermore, Aaron, that man might have kept you from getting your first speeding ticket. So pay attention to these people with gray hair. They've been there, they've done that, they have survived, and they can offer you far more than you would ever imagine. Well, Lady Wisdom that we're talking about today, that who's speaking to us, has the grayest hair of anyone else in the whole universe. Because the Lady Wisdom is God's wisdom. And God created this planet. He created this universe. He created you and me. He created everything that's here. If anyone knows how life is supposed to work, it is God's wisdom, Lady Wisdom. So we listen to her. One of the things that God would love for all of His creation is for us to be happy. I read in the lesson that happy are they who listen to Lady Wisdom. And so we need to talk about happiness. I've been doing some research on who's happy and who isn't. And I asked you at the beginning of the service today to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being very happy, 1 being not happy at all. How do you rank yourself today? 2, 7, 3, 9, whatever. Think about that. How do you rank yourself this day on the happiness scale? Now, in my research this week, I've been reading a lot about happiness. Who's happy and who isn't. The happiest people in the world live in Iceland, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Ireland. Now, a lot of these countries are having economic problems. They have a lot of other issues, but these people are the happiest. And another thing I found out is that happiness also comes in relationships. It comes in a relationship with God. It said that people who go to church have a higher, happier quotient than those who do not. People who have a partner in life that they can love and be loved by have a higher, happier quotient than those who are not. And also, this is interesting for all of us people who live in Cobb County. In the research, they found out something very interesting, Bob, and you might not agree with this, but Republicans are happier than Democrats. This is nationwide in the survey. And they said the reason they found out that Republicans were happier than Democrats is because Republicans are more likely to go to church and more likely to be married. Isn't that interesting? Democrats, if you want to be happier, switch over, I guess. And talk about love. If you are in a relationship with a person that you love and that loves you back, how much happier do you really want to be? I think the happiest I've ever been in my life was the day I met Ginger and we got married, and there's nobody on this earth that makes me happier than she does. Because I know no matter what, she loves me and I love her no matter what. And she has made my life as probably best it could possibly be. As a matter of fact, one afternoon, about 2 o'clock, about the time Aaron gets home, I came in the door, slammed the door, and Ginger was up on the landing. She didn't see who came in. And she says, "Hey, sweetie, how was your day?" And I said, "Ginger, what a greeting." She said, "Oh, I thought you were Aaron." I told her from now on, I would like for you to greet me that way. And not only that, have my cocktail ready, and also meet me with the dress and pearls. Who was that? June Cleaver? June? Oh, she loves me, but she ain't going that far. Now I want to ask you another question. And do not get this wrong, you'll break my heart. What time during the year are people most happy? Christmas. Thank you. That's exactly right. And I'm thinking, why at Christmas do we all of a sudden become so happy we can hardly stand it? Is it because we're wondering what we're going to get for Christmas? No. It's because we are doing something for other people. We are giving to people we know. We are giving to people we don't know. And the Bible teaches us over and over and over again, when we are serving other people, that's when we find the most contentment and joy in life. Also at Christmas, that's when we gather around the manger where the baby Jesus is. And what can make anybody more happy than to be gathered with family and friends that we love and around a Savior who loves us just the way we are. So during the next several weeks, I'd like for all of us to dive into the book of Proverbs. It is God's wisdom for His people. He created all of this. He knows what's going on. He knows what can make us happy, and He knows what can make us very sad. So let's stay close to the presence of God. Be involved with one another. If you don't have someone to love and someone to love you back, find that, seek that, because that will bring you the utmost in joy. So remember, the Lady of Wisdom knows what she's talking about, so let us listen. Amen. Let us stand.